What's up guys, Bluddshed here. Today we're going to talk all about super armor for Lost Ark PVP. This will be a quick beginner's guide to give you an idea of what it does and how you can use it to your advantage. If you're feeling generous, a quick like on the video goes a long way in helping the channel grow. On top of the screen and in the description, I also have a website, bloodshed.com, where I post all my builds guides for you guys. One easy stop shop for everything. Okay, so what the heck is super armor? It's a question I get on stream all day long. Super armor is just a fancy word for crowd control immunity. You can have it in a bad situation, crowd control immunity, super armor. You can have it in a good situation, crowd control immunity, super armor. We'll talk about each one in a row here to give you guys an idea of how it works. So the first one we have is stagger. It's a stagger super armor immunity. Let's take this famous Deathblade ability Axel here, okay? So if you can read the description, it says super armor stagger immunity, which basically means you're immune to staggers, okay? There's three basic kinds of crowd control, right? So you have your staggers, and then you have your knockups or knockdowns, and then you have everything else basically, like your stuns, your petrification, your freezes, those damn gunslingers and those frost bombs. Stagger, knockup, knockdown, and hard CCs. So using this Axel ability will make you immune to stagger. So they're trying to shoot you with their gun, those gunslingers, those blasters, artillerists, they're trying to shoot you. It won't affect you whatsoever. You're gonna engage on them and they can't do anything about it if they're using that ability. So knowing that Deathblade has this type of ability, you can then counter that, try to bait it out, fake cast. So if you go head to head with the Deathblade, you're not gonna try to use a stagger ability to stop them in their tracks, because they can't be stopped because they have super armor. Well, how do you know when someone has super armor, Blood? Well, it's easy. They got this yellow aura glow over their head. It looks like this, okay? So when you dash, you have this yellow glow because you're immune, you have super armor. When you get knocked up too many times, you have this because you have super armor. We'll get into that. You know, you have this offensively and defensively, but this is how you know someone has super armor, and you have to, that's gonna put you on alert, right? Yellow means slow down. You're gonna be like, okay, whoa, they're yellow. All right, how do I proceed from here? If you're getting continuously staggered for like 3 seconds, you're gonna instantly get knocked down, and this scale icon is gonna pop over your head, meaning you can't continuously just be staggered forever. So you have protection against the same type of CC continuously. So that's stagger. What about knock up? So again, this ability Axel has a rune called immunity, and it gives you immunity to knockback effects. So now you can jump in, you're immune to stagger, and you're immune to knockback effects with Axel, which means it's a lot less things people can do to you to stop you to engage, which is what makes this one of the best abilities in the game, in my opinion. You can only get knocked up or knocked down 4 times before you have an immunity. It looks like they're in the same tier. They share the same kind of diminishing returns. So if you see someone getting juggled back and forth, they're gonna get a glow over their character and they're gonna get super armor. So you have your staggers, you have your knock up, your knocks down, your knockdowns, and then you have pretty much everything else. You have your petrifications in a tier, the hard CC, petrification, stuns, freezes, right? These kind of things that completely make you immobile on your character. There is built-in crowd control protection. Once you get slapped up too many times, locked up too many times, you get this little aura around your character. You can see me down. A lot of times you'll stun somebody and this will pop up over their head saying, no more after this. This is the last one. So you can plan ahead before, if you want to continue like a stun combo, right? Once they have this glowy aura over their character, they have a 7-second immunity to crowd control. But it only takes into effect after they get up or after they come out of their stun, right? So it's kind of a nice indicator, like, okay, this is it, and then I gotta leave, right? So you get them, get your damage and get out before they recover, because now they're gonna fight you and they're gonna be immune to crowd control, so they can kind of turn the tables back on you. Another way you can be totally immune, not for 7 seconds, but for a small amount of time, is when you dash, okay? So this would be like the final tier of super armor. When you dash, you can see you get all immunity. Just like the 7-second glowy aura thing, once you get, you know, CC'd too much, that small dash window, that's why dash is so powerful. You'll be in the middle of battle here, And then when you dash out, you basically can't be crowd controlled, right? It's like you have that glowy aura while you're dashing, because all super armor means, right, is an immunity to crowd control. So you can think about this when you're dashing, because it's all immunity. Some abilities do have that in the game, but the other main way you're gonna see that is when you have your ultimate ability, right? So you're in PvP, you're casting your ultimate ability. You can see it says super armor, all immunity there. That's why, like, if you're casting the spirit bomb, you can't be stopped, right? You're gonna get that spirit bomb off. But a lot of times, it doesn't trigger that super armor, all immunity, that immunity to crowd control doesn't trigger until you get like the second half of the animation. Every class is different, right? But like right when you're building up, if you get CC'd before you can get to a certain animation point, it'll stop and cancel it. Sometimes you'll lose the alt. Sometimes you just get, you know, CC'd out of your mind or whatever. So bear that in mind. You usually have to get to a certain point in the animation to be able to cast it. So ultimates and dashing are pretty much the main ways you're gonna have all immunity, unless of course you get CC'd so damn much, you get that aura around your character. So once you put this in practice, you'll start to see the game a little differently, right? There is a lot of spell effects in Lost Ark. There's a lot to learn. We got 15 launch classes. They all have their own abilities and super armor, stagger immunity, knock-up immunity, both of them together. So you have to literally pay attention, learn what everybody's trying to do. But watching the gameplay footage here, you can kind of start to see, oh, you can see that was yellow when he dashed. That means he couldn't be CC'd. So, you know, you want to maybe wait to cast your ability a lot of the time if you know what they're immune to after the animation, or where they're going to be, not necessarily on their person. Where there's so many different, it really opens up the game and makes it even more complex and more in depth, as you're not just mindlessly spamming like I talked about earlier, kind of thinking about who's immune to what, you know, do I need to get in, get out? And the more you practice, I notice the easier it is to notice these kind of things. But you can see the blade even do that little flippy thing to jump in there like we talked about. I have that aura around my character right now. You can see I have 7 seconds of immunity because I was starting to get crowd controlled too much. You can see I got it again after getting frost bombed by the gunslinger. So on my bard here, we have this ability called March, right? And it has stagger immunity. So like I said, if I'm going up against a gunslinger, I'm gonna try to save this until they start to get close to me, or until they start to track me, because a gunslinger is gonna jump in and start spinning and staggering me and setting up their combo. Bards can get blown up really easily, so it's one thing that knowing that gunslinger is going to do that to go after me, I'm going to try to save this maybe until I see them in my vicinity, and then I'm going to cast this ability, and they basically can't use that stagger to set up their frost grenade. They're going to have to land the skill shot on their own without it, and that's going to severely make their life harder and my life easier. The same thing, Artillerist walked up to me one time and was about to use his machine gun, and I used this ability called Soundholic, and it has stagger immunity also. So then I was beaming him and he was shooting me, and it was just a trade-off, right? We're just trading damage, versus if I was trying to run away or my dash was down, then he would have shot me, staggered me, stunned me, and then did his big wombo combo and killed me, right? So sometimes you can use abilities just to juke other abilities, and like this is going to take time to learn to master the game. It's something I'm still doing, you know, myself. Like I said earlier, the game happens so fast. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for liking the video if you did. Checking out the website, all that stuff helps me out tremendously. I'll be making as much content as I can before the game comes out. I'll be streaming twitch.tv/bloodshed every day until launch, and then of course, you know, many months after that. I'm addicted to this game. I love this game, and hey, and that's it. That's all for me today. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.